access point, a lot closer to sites, there's a lot less roaming to clear, not as much verticality to be played by the defence. You know, usually they're going to be playing much more around site, and I just feel like that might lean into DarkZero a little bit. Are we going to get this time the Soulless ban?
I mean, it's been a constant question throughout the whole thing so far, is the best way that I can look at it. So maybe, I mean, I'm hoping so, being realistic. It's been a bit of a backstabber for Team Secret. DarkZero making excellent use of it.
Going to be Dokkaebi as the second attacker. Knocking Dokkaebi going to be taken out. Here comes the most likely opportunity for Soulless to be banned out. It is not going to be. It's going to be Mirror instead. I can't see DarkZero doing it because they've just benefited so greatly from the use of that operator. And Theme Park is probably less impactful for Soulless on the basis that there's not too much opportunity for vertical denial of plants. Keeping her underneath and out of the way would be difficult. And then also there's limited destructibility vertically to be able to open up those holes. It's still very valuable. We see Canadian immediately locking it in, if only to deny the plants and to make life difficult there. And there's always the possibility of feeding that information in at least about where a plant is going down.
Alrighty, so it was Team Secret on defense in OT. Sorry, so DarkZero start on the defense here, as you guys are now, I'm sure, more than aware. And Canadian, shock horror, dives straight on the Soulless pick. And we're starting with a storage defense. Tim, not really one of the go-to common sites as a first pick for sure. A couple of teams have tried to make use of this on defense. They've spread across the entire of the map, even reinforcing walls inside of Armory and Throne to really try and extend out into the map. But this is what I love about Theme Park, is it does just feel quite ironically like one massive playground that you can play almost anywhere and still not be all that far away from site. It is like a gigantic cafe. It's just really, really spread quite far wide.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Here we go then. We're going to have some reinforcements over towards Break Room down to the south, so it's likely going to be trying to hold on to Bunk and Daycare. This is probably one of the few sites that you really would try to keep hold of vertically for as long as possible. The others, particularly Armory and Throne downstairs, is a little bit limited as to what can be done. You might have a presence up there to waste time for the attackers, but this would be the one that you want to really keep hold of Cafe, so it looks like that's what they're going to be doing now. Sleben, he's ready to zip his way into Break Room by the looks of things, just waiting for the information and the 3-2-1 that he needs to get himself in there as soon as he knows that it's clear, and he's not going to be immediately challenged.
I haven't seen too many drones rolling around in front of him to give him that information that it's clear, but got no doubt that Gyrohot's going to come out, as it now has, and in he goes. Ready there as well, the EE1D coming out on top. All the Candelas have been whiffed in here as well, so Sleben is in and charging. Will he find his man? Yes, he will. 2 quick kills coming out for Secret there once they burn through most of their utility in the execute. Don't yet have site control, but do have the kills they need.
That's very good. A very good start from Secret. First minute, they've got 2 kills. They've got pretty much top floor control. I think everybody on the... no, I was just going to say, I think everybody on the side of DarkZero has been pushed back downstairs, but they've just got Canadian up there to deal with. I don't know if they're aware of his presence or that he's going to be flanking here, but the double door is barricaded, so that's going to prevent Canadian being able to move smoothly back through. So he's going to hold his position in initiation for the time being, but they are well aware of the potential threat from there.
Still here's Canadian dancing around, as you say, on this upstairs, looking to hit whoever he can as they try and push their way through the top. Has settled down pretty quickly in the round as well, despite that initial bit of aggression that we saw coming on through. Canadian has to work his way through a barricade here, steps in and sees a man, collects him for free. Sleben caught snoozing. And could this be DZ pulling around back in their favour? Maybe not, and Savage gets the shutdown.
I was going to say, you can't let him get away with that easily. They were aware of that position and then just sort of let go of it and allowed him to move on to the flank, but the trade comes out quite quickly. Savage doing a great job, and we now find ourselves in a 2 versus 4 for DarkZero. Sprayed through the soft wall. Final kills come in, and Team Secret take themselves round 1.
Nice cozy first round. Those first 2 kills that came in quite early on was what they were looking for as well. Really set the tone for the rest of it, and although I know we've seen both teams give away rounds from a lead, it's been less common for Secret throughout the series, so glad to see them still keeping up that trend and being able to close things out from the 5 versus 3.
Moving into round 2, it looks like it's going to be an armory and throne defense for DarkZero. They're going to move away from lab and storage. Keep it downstairs though, but I'll be interested to contrast and see how much utility and manpower is expended on trying to keep hold of the top floor. It didn't really work out for them last time. Secret were able to go in and sort of sweep them away quite easily, so I would expect to maybe see a little bit less this time.
You hope so. Once again, the Solar's being deployed, looking to do a bit of work. Matched up by the IQ and the EE1Ds. I love the use of it in the last round, personally. Mainly used to make sure that we had the Amaro getting into the map safely, but I think here, it works with any of the operators. It helps with those pushes forward. It helps to capitalize on the chaos that DZ come under. Because where they have struggled at points is when we do get Secret coming in at quite some pace. Not through a bottleneck most ideally. You saw this in the last round when they had the Monty rush in their first attacking round on Bank. They were held at bay by the smoke canisters, the Vulcans, for example. All the things working together to slow down what would have been a pretty successful rush, all things considered. But I think the EE1D just helps them again capitalize on that chaos, keep DZ panicking, and really help Secret propel themselves forward to a win. Almost the reverse of what we saw before, where they were focused on Skyscraper on the defensive side of stopping DZ getting to the execute. Here it's kind of accelerating Secret execute to bring it even further forwards and even quicker.
Kendrew sending a drone into sight. I don't think its life will be too long-lived. It's just sat in the corner there. I would expect it to be spotted out, but for the time being, they know that there is the potential for getting in there. I think they're aware that there's a few off-site at the minute. They've managed to run underneath the hatch, but DarkZero were more than ready for that attempt, and they're going to get 3 kills along the way, and the rush attempt from Secret has fallen apart. We've heard Twister in the timeouts a couple of times speaking about the opportunity to go for rushes and to have the confidence to do it if they think there's an opportunity, and they've obviously listened to that, taken it to heart, but it hasn't panned out this time.
Just got themselves into a spot here where clearly it's fell apart, and truthfully, like, one of my favorite sayings that one of my mentors has is you have to have a plan to change a plan. There's no plan to change, well, there was a plan to change, but it was over far too quickly, the 3 of them being completely deleted inside of barrels. And once it's all fallen apart from there, well, you can't really change it and look to adapt. A flawless round in the second, so as good as that first round was, negated immediately by the other side.
DarkZero immediately leveling things up, not allowing things to get too far out of hand. It's going to be 1-1, and honestly, I think this map is going to continue largely in the same trend. I think we're going to have this very close from beginning to end. It's going to be a defensive top floor this time around, so it's going to be bunk and daycare that DarkZero are going to be going to for their third choice site. It's the first time we've seen them defending upstairs, and interestingly, the first time that they haven't brought Solis along. So deciding where they can put, as I said coming into this, you know, where there is the opportunity to potentially play underneath and play for a little bit of denial with the Solis, it's just a very difficult map to do it on, particularly to keep that operator alive, so choosing not to go for that.
Absolutely. Okie doke. Let's see how round 3 plays out. We've had a strong round from either side so far. Kendrew moving over to playing here on at the Monty as well. Had an interesting development in the game a second ago that is currently still being resolved over on Stream A. Hopefully should get back underway pretty soon. Both of our last 2 series actually going all the way through to the 3rd map, Tim. And quite deep as well.
I think it might be the first night that that's happened.
Yeah. Normally it is wrapped up by now. It's 10, just after 10 PM here, local.
We could well be here for another hour or so, depending how this one goes.
Imagine.
If we see all 12 rounds and it goes to overtime, then it would be around that mark for it to be finished off. We're on the top floor attack this time. Medics is trying to blame us, but personally I blame Medics. It's every time that Medics observes for us, we end up with this much overtime.
Yes. It always seems to follow us 3 around. Astro finding out Skies as well. Smoke, ideally not the one you want to be losing so early into the round. That's the way that it has unfolded this time around. And Secret now with that numbers advantage can look to do what they did back in round 1. Just slow it down, boys. You've got that numbers advantage. Play for those trades. Plan things out once again because you've still got a solid 2 minutes to work with.
Slabin going in with Switchtron, just taking down those default cameras and electronics as he goes. NJR looking on the long angle. It's an interesting rotation that's been opened from site. It's just giving a long angle all the way through. The Monty's going to be pushing into it now, but it's pretty critical that DarkZero hold on to this location. Quite often that'd be the breach that the attackers are looking for, so you've sort of almost given it to them without them having to come in and hard breach. But you need to make sure that you hold on to it.
Absolutely. Sleben here looking to sleuth his way in on the downstairs and see what he can find. It's Astro on the upstairs, though, doing work alongside Savage. Here comes the Monty marching on his way forwards and has gone down to NJR. How on earth has that worked out? Got him on the side of it as well. NJR into a second one, and now has got it to do against 3 players.
Unlikely at this point, despite how good that NJR has been playing so far tonight. He knows that there's one on the left of him. This is going to be a freebie, surely. He knows the peak is coming. He's ready for it. There you go. Sprays him down, leaves him in a 1v2. Becomes a bit more doable, but loses health along the way that he really could have done with keeping. Finds himself on about 30 HP now. Can probably manage 1 bullet at the most, and the second will be the end of him. But if Team Secret give him an opportunity here, there you go. Beautiful from NJR. And he gets the last fantastic 1v3 to finish off it is. What a round from NJR to cap off what has been a fantastic night of Siege from him so far.
There's just no way NJR has pulled that off against Secret. Looking at the numbers just developed down, it was a 2 versus 5. For all intents and purposes, a 1 versus 5. As Pamba was off the board quite early into this play, but pulls it off against every single member and ensures DZ have what many would argue wasn't a deserved round. But with a play like that, NJR deserves every single kill along that way.
An ace with a knife onto the Monty included. You don't get many of them. I'm going to tell you that now. You do not get many of those. NJR has been outstanding so far tonight. Not just there, but in general. We've mentioned his name an awful lot. Not just in terms of frags, but just everything he's brought to the team. He's been a stalwart for DarkZero so far in this matchup.
Whew. Player of the series, maybe him and Groovy definitely fighting it out to be the top 2. Like 100%. Both have played out their absolute skins as this series has gone by. Of course, good rounds of performances by several other members. I know Canadian, for example, hasn't been up there when it comes to kills, but his Solus play has really dominated the Intel game against Secret. Really excited to see what the end stats look like, because I get a feeling that once again this is going to be another long map, Tim.
Yeah, very possibly. I think, as we've said, it's likely to see a bit of back and forth. We're on another attack here. It's going to be initiation and office this time around. Secret going straight away over to that east side to look at potentially getting in towards Cash and 90 corridor. Quite often we will see a defender stationed in and around 90 corridor, but I don't think that's actually the case for DarkZero here. So, nope, they're going to give a little bit of access on that control and Cash side. So, just something that they need to be aware of. Now, interestingly, we do have a player underneath. I'm not sure who it is down in armour. I think it could be Canadian on the Legion, but they're going to need to be cautious when approaching, because those traps, you can hear them just pinging off already as they try to move across to push the Roma.
Already being wary of the one player, they've got the ping on him as well. They know that he's sat inside the vault. They know what to be looking for here as well. We've seen a couple of teams struggle. In fact, it was G2 versus Koi when we had this back on day 1, when they ignored Spoit, sat inside the vault, and he did really punish them for it across a couple of rounds. Secret here looking a little bit more attentive, given they had that ping down inside of Vault itself. But as looking at the positioning of most of DarkZero, they are sat quite far back here and almost inviting Team Secret to come pressing on forward, looking for these kills. 2 members of DarkZero expecting a push to come in on the west side, but surely here they start to catch a whiff that actually pretty much every single member of Team Secret is working their way in from the east.
Just going to have a nade coming in over the top of the shield. It's a little shield off there as we've got one facing the other. It's going to be the deployable of the defenders that gets taken out. It allows Secret to start pushing forward, opening that wall a little bit. And this is it. They might well just come running straight in on the back of this. They've got the shield set up. They've got diffuser in hand. And it looks like they might just go and try and get in behind the pillar inside of the initiation room there to put the diffuser down.
Oh, here we go. He's made it as well. There's no one sat watching on the near side. Wants to get the rest of it opened up too, which might make this a little more precarious. Has got in there, maybe can make a plan happen, but he's got to be careful of getting pinged by these players that are super close, just like that. But what a kill coming in from the side swipe as well. Kendry might be getting away with this one as well. Plant has been stuck into a 4v3. Great play by Secret.
Absolutely beautiful getting that plant down. Kendry with the presence of mind, even when hit by the impact nade, to continue planting. Astro finding Gaveni Pamba can do nothing but try to just get on the diffuser, and it is going to be an easy kill for Team Secret, and they're going to level things up 2-2.
Let's go.
Exciting round so far on this map, actually.
Very much so, very much so. It's been a...
Enjoying the variety.
I won't say it's been a slow burner, really. Skyscraper was a great map as well, as was Bank. You know, we've been treated to a lot of overtime. There's been plenty of action going on, but yeah, you just feel this one is really reaching a crescendo.
I doubt they're going to do it again, but yeah, you ready around this one? You can honestly, you can lab into the device, it's probably cheap, like 2 seconds. Back up, because of how slow it is. So yeah, just food for thought on that. But otherwise, again, they're probably going to switch back to this one. Fine, but just
Yeah, I'm gonna
okay, perfect.
Really interesting defensive style there, where Twister, I felt, was a little bit more prescriptive in his coaching style and how he was communicating to the team. Mint there has been very kind of, I mean, do this if you want, but like, here's what I think, and maybe do this. Real difference in kind of conviction the two have got. But Mint's thing there was, look, comms are getting crazy, calm it down a little bit. Yeah. And this is what you hear a lot of coaches say. Sometimes you're stepping in not because you want to correct a micro thing in the round, but you can just sense the team getting a little bit worried with each other. They're getting a little bit panicked. It's just good to breathe a little bit and just have that 45 seconds to reset the mental. For DarkZero, I can imagine it is a bit of a kicker inside 4 rounds to have already lost 2 of your defenses. Difmark considered a bit of a fortress. Many teams scared of playing it, to be honest with you, because of how hard it is to attack into. But Team Secret showing the way forward, it seems.
Honestly, no idea which way this one is going to go. We've got the Aruni on side in the hands of Gavini. Going to put laser gates both on Cafe, single and double doors. So obviously expecting pressure to come in from that side. It's an armory and throne defense. We saw this back in round 2. Defense 1. DarkZero were able to get this one locked down, so they're going back to a site that they've already won. They're expecting, obviously, a top floor clearance to come in from Team Secret, hence the laser gates being placed on Cafe door and window. Sorry, both of Cafe doors. So Team Secret could maybe mix this up by not coming in from that side. Maybe don't play into the utility, you know, come in from the... There's no reason why they can't come in from the cash side and control to try and move across top floor if they want that control. Always
many options on this map, given the size of it.
Pamba might be one reason that they can't come in through that side.
I mean, he's had a pretty good series as well. So kind of playing the shadow of NGR a little bit, but has still put up double digits across the 2 maps that they've had so far, I believe. I know we definitely saw that on the previous. Here he's hoping someone might come flying in through the window, but not quite to be the case. They were moving around elsewhere. Astro drops down though, and this is where suddenly you're in danger zone. You're in Pamba territory. You might be trying to look at this window to get a little swing onto him here as well. Out he comes. Is he going to find him? All too easy. Astro, you've been here a million times in rank, buddy. That shouldn't be happening.
You can't leave that window in a position where Pamba can jump out of it.
Not where it's open, no.
They're obviously aware of his, you know, being in that area, because otherwise they wouldn't be being so cautious about approaching it. And then there's nobody covering the window. There's no Claymore. There's no nothing. Like, you just can't do it. You've given him that for absolute free. So a little bit of a misstep there from Team Secret. A shame for them. Leaves the DarkZero in a 5 versus 4, and it really slows down any progress on the top floor clearance as well. That's the problem for Secret.
Nade now the one holding inside the cache, so one side down to his south slightly dealt with, but now that they've got away with that, he's still looking to play quite aggressively in that area of the map. Drops the hatch and works his way back down towards site here. I like how DarkZero are looking to play the map, not just sit inside site and be quite scared here, but he could really pull off a bit of damage. Did they lose that exothermic, by the way? No, they kept it. All being electrified just in time there with the little scare away for Kendrew.
Kendrew will likely come back at a point. They are working above to just try and make sure everything's cleared off. In goes the nade, try and get rid of that electrification, which it will do, I think. I was just looking through to the very back of site there, but Kendrew is actually going to relocate anyway onto the barrel's wall. No, they didn't get the electrical that was electrifying that side of the wall, so that's going to be in tight. But the push is going to have to come through barrels for Team Secret. That's the one that they've got open. Kendrew does have another exothermic in pocket, but with no nades left on side, they're going to struggle to clear off any other denial, any other electrification, so they're going to be stuck to this position. A double kill comes in for DarkZero.
As well, Canadian finding one with the Razor Blue, bringing down Kendrew on the other side. 2 left for Secret. Looking like Secret's little tactical timeout here at least has helped them get back on the board. Seven stepping in to try and do what he can, but it's not going to happen. It's a flawless round as NJR collects a couple of kills there in the dying moments.
Honestly, every round that goes by here is just a swing from one side to the other. You've got Team Secret coming in with a great round, a good attack, and then DarkZero come back with a flawless of their own.
I really like
Whew, another tactical timeout coming in this time from Secret.
Take floors, can you read this? Just take floors and then just start waiting that we are moving resources in the sides, just doing this shit, and we take the map fast with all the others. Not droning, you know. No. Not droning. No. We are going to bait right now. Then we just don't waste time on that. We're wasting too much time sitting on drones and less time playing. We need more to play together. If someone gets killed, you guys are there together just to get the refract. Don't worry about it. That's what we'll do right now. They will think that I'm passing you guys a rush. They're thinking that we are going to say to you guys to rush, and that's not what is going to happen. Let's go. Okay. Let's go. You guys got this.
Again, the conviction and difference between Mint and between Twister's really, really interesting.
Yeah, Twister very sort of directive, and you know, this is what we're going to do. That's what I want you to do this round. As you say, Mint more an observation. You know, this is the information that I've seen. You know, so that you can factor into it. You know, I suppose you've got to factor in, and it's not to.
You know what I really need to. Now we've started doing this, I really, really need to see a G2 game.
Yeah.
I need to hear Fabian just tell Doki that he is the worst player in the world several times over. It will make my day.
I think you've got to look at the players that information's being fed into as well. And this isn't a comment about anybody on Secret. They've plenty of experience and knowledge there. But you've also got to look at the side of DarkZero. You've got a Canadian, one of the most experienced IGLs in the game. You know, he's won more than anybody else, I believe, you know, in Siege. So I think Mint's probably got a very sort of, you know, like respectful relationship with him, and so yeah, I will provide this bit of information, and the team can do with it, you know, what you will, or you can use it in that way. And you know, it's just different styles of getting the same job done. And you know, we've seen DarkZero especially have some success with that back in Charlotte.
Absolutely. Well, they've got up to 3 and 2. It's the dream storyline they were looking for, or score line, not storyline. Score line they were looking for to keep things moving in their direction. A 4-2 really, only the thing that will be acceptable to DarkZero. A 3-3 here would feel like chaos. But you heard their conversation a second ago around trying to play for trades on Secret and playing it a little bit slower. Maybe they're right in that DarkZero are expecting a rush, but for now at least, they aren't all hovering around site. In fact, Canadian keeping himself busy once again off around Dragon.
I think DarkZero have done a great job of, in some ways, playing in unexpected ways. You know, when on Bank they expected Team Secret maybe to have a similar slow approach, DarkZero had none of it, and you know, they got in there and they went to site and they were there quickly. And I think much the same here, where they're sort of expecting certain things out of them. They are managing to surprise them. We're going to have Canadian, I think it was, no, it's going to be Gavani on the Goyo that's going to be heading back down yellow stairs, and that is going to give Team Secret some top floor control.
Digs his way back in towards site here on a slither of HP, leaving Astro in no better shape either, to be honest, down to just sub 50 HP. You know that maybe takes a couple of bullets, but literally no more than that. There's longer angles being held off there. Astro with an eye towards the backpack of Gavani, but not able to find him yet, as he's indeed through a wall.
Just going to start with the Rotero drones, looking for information, make sure there's no players knocking about, and then also open up some vertical angles as well if they feel that those will be useful. There's not too many that look directly on into sight, but they can certainly support them through barrels, for example. Gruby managing to find a kill from Dragon onto Canadian inside of sight, and that's a good opener for Secret. Gavani is on low health as well.
Drops a donk on his head there, literally, as he crouches down, follows him all the way down to the ground. Far too easy. Now that's not sight, sorry. It's Armory taken over. Of course, not forgetting that Islav and Storage, they're looking to try and take control of here, but they are marching on through, spearheaded by Gruby on this Amaru. 3 left alive, making it 4 versus 3 to be precise, down to a 3v3. NJR again, by the way. Jesus Christ.
Absolutely unstoppable at the minute is NJR.
I want to get his stats up.
Just going to take out the bulletproof camera there, but 35 seconds left on the clock. Secret need to be aware of this. Vulcan canisters being popped. 10JR it is again. Diffuser dropped. And that leaves us now in a 3v2. DarkZero have fought back fantastically here to say how the round started. NJR once again puts himself onto 10 overall. Sleben's taking damage, and you just know who it's going to be likely to finish him off. NJR's waiting. He's going out of this hole. He wants the kill. You know he does. He sprays down the soft wall. Doesn't find his man. 7 seconds left to go. There's the peak. There's the kill for NJR. And what another unbelievable round from him.
He's 6 kills away from breaking the best of 3 LAN record. Held by Cyber at 49. NJR's on 43. Groovy's not too far behind on 35, admittedly, but my God, NJR is flying right now.
Is that including everything in that round as well? We'll have to just wait for our tracker.
I'm pretty sure that's all updated, but I may be wrong.
Worst case scenario is he needs 6 more kills. And it just shows how consistent he's been, because he hasn't, you know, he hasn't broken a single map kill record, for example. He's
5 kills off.
Been so consistent throughout. Yep, there was another one yet to go on, so he's 5 kills away. We will keep a close eye on that, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Depending what happens, if DarkZero win this in 3 rounds, for example, then it could be tough for him. I wouldn't be surprised to see him break 50 kills. 6 kills will get him 50.
And the thing is, he doesn't look like he's slowing down on this map. He's 11-2, for God's sake. Nearly averaging 2 kills per round here. It's unbelievable delivery.
Switching over onto the defense, and the question for NJR at least is going to be, can he keep that momentum of killing on the attack? He's bringing the Iana, so he's certainly setting himself up to go in there and get those frags. I'm sure the team will be supporting him as well, because right now, when you've got a player that's hitting shots like NJR is, honestly, just, you know, take the leash off and let him go, because that's what's going to win your rounds.
I think at this point, Medics can just go and get himself an early night sleep. We'll just leave the camera on NJR for the whole thing. It's clearly he is the player to watch. Secret know that he's given them a lot of issues right now. They've not really had their own superstar in Groovy shine. Sure, at 6-4, he's not half bad, but it's still nowhere near what NJR's delivery has been. Maybe things change now, the sides have swapped. We will see.
Canadian just going to be clearing out that barricade. No immediate progress into the map just yet for DarkZero, but it's all posturing up towards Break Room and the east side for the time being. NJR, or the one to watch as we will call him for the time being, is going to be sending his drone into Break Room. Wants to get in there, knows that's not going to be possible. He's going to work on the rappel instead for the time being. And the rest of DarkZero fairly slow so far on the attack.
I wonder what NJR stands for. If it's just his name, I'm going to be really disappointed. But, like, not just something.
I don't know.
Not just ranked, or I don't know, whatever it might be. I will find out later.
I wish I was just ranked. I'm not even ranked.
You're like Emerald, aren't you?
I am Emerald, yeah.
Yeah, he's fine, mate. See, he's like, oh, Kenny. Ruining the party.
Somebody had to spoil the fun, but the thing is, you've got to look at that in realistic terms for Team Secret. That's a big play. NJR's the ones hitting shots at the minute. If we look through the rest of the team, 4-2, 3-3, you know, you've taken down the top fragger by a clear margin there, so it's just going to give that little bit of a feeling. You know, we've all been in those games, right? We've got the top frag down. You know, it just gives that little bit of a boost. Even at this level, I imagine it's still the case. You know, you've got him done, and you can start focusing on the rest of the team.
Oh,
just like that.
You really feel like Sky should have had that one. The beautiful thing for NJR, of course, is when he's not on the field, the team don't really seem able to pull rounds back. So if he's only getting kills when he's winning, it cannot be too bad a thing. Bamba down on the deck as Kendra gets that finish off as well. Canadian, the last one left standing, and it feels like a secret round is underway to bring things up to 3 rounds for them and get them that first defensive round win.
Canadian just pushing that angle, but is not going to get any joy as Team Secret get their first defense done. That's Armory and Throne locked down for them, and that brings us back to 4-3.
Yeah.
Whew. Again, it's probably a good thing for NJR that he feels like the rounds where he dies, they aren't winning, because it means the game gets prolonged for even longer. It's big brain, I'm telling you, it's a team tactic.
It's an interesting one that I doubt is it.
Nah, it's the DZ strap book. Let NJR shine. Take a record over. At least it's that to walk away with from SI if you guys don't push too deep into the tournament. But I think here what we're going to see is us going into storage and lab. Does mean you're going to once again see a defensive hold that spreads across the entirety of the map. DarkZero have done that in their 2 defenses of this site. Secret already opening up a number of things on the upstairs, looking to do exactly the same. The alibi of Astro, charging almost quite literally through walls.
Bit of an extension on the same floor. Potentially on the top floor as well. They're going to want to hold on to Cafe. We saw DarkZero do that repeatedly. Yep, we've got plenty of utility going. We've got some reinforcements there. Bunk and Daycare is going to be held on to as well. It's going to leave Team Secret. I'm going to say the same as I did on Bank as well. And Skyscraper at times. It's going to leave them spread quite thin. If they're playing all the way over towards Dragon, if they've got somebody up in Bunk and they've got somebody in Cafe, for example, it is going to leave them stretched and potentially isolated into 1v1 fights, which could be a bit of a problem for them, but we'll see just how they manage to link themselves together so they can trade off each other, something that Twister was talking about in a previous timeout.
Got himself a rid of one of those Vulcan canisters that was strapped to the wall of sight. Something that's not going to bug them as we go in towards the last 60 seconds of the round. Can be a real big time delay. So thankful to see that one taken away. The rest of DarkZero looking to work their way through the map. And one thing I will say, Tim, at least in that last round, it felt like a little more pacey compared to previous. Think about how slow they were back on Skyscraper way back at the very start of this series, and even somewhat on Bank. At least it feels like the problems of speed haven't yet caught up to them.
No, it doesn't.
Yet.
It's certainly, yeah, I'd agree. I think that problem was reasonably limited to Skyscraper from what we've seen. I think on the other 2 maps, DarkZero haven't had as much of a problem in terms of their pacing and getting to a point of executing. They're only on this attacking round here, so not really an opportunity to get the diffuser down, but we will see how that goes. We know they are a diffuser-focused team. They do like to play that way and get it down, get the case down, but we'll see whether they create a chance or not. Now, Astro's going to be forced back by the player on the break room window. He's going to be on mezzanine now, along with a Seki. He's actually going to drop over there and back up the arcade stairs, so pressure is certainly mounting at the moment.
I think they're suspecting a jump out might come through here as well. I think it was the Twitch with the DMR Cavani just waiting, watching the window, expecting someone to come flying out of the barrel's window at any moment. But the player was there, has pulled away. So nothing really to be concerned about just yet. We're still playing things nice and safely. We're getting towards that last 60 seconds though, Tim, and that does mean that DZ have got to get their plan in motion. Got to start looking towards site, for example, taking a couple of players out to make this a little bit easier because Secret are still being a little bit ratty, tucked into a couple of corners.
Yep, nice position, just being held inside of Armory and Throne there, which isn't even the site. Pamba is going to take down Kendrew, and that's going to give a little bit of motivation here as Gavene. He just keeps that stone rolling down the hill, getting the kill onto Savage. Pamba with the second on the round. Astro is going to be there to pick up Canadian. 30 seconds left to go, takes Pamba as well, and it is going to take a couple of kills to come in from elsewhere. Gavene with his second in the round, and that leaves only Sleben left alive. Skies is putting this diffuser down. Sleben, he's looking to move into position to see what he can do. He's going to have to move through the showers.
They are following him round for this one as well. Finds NJR, not ideal. 2 left alive. Sleben, though, is his superpower time. He's looking for the little one-tap headshots, but can't quite collect them. He's still got about 25 seconds to work with, though, here, Tim, so he can choose to take his shots carefully.
Moving around to the double door, just trying to relocate. He's just using those peak holes as best he can. They know exactly where he is, though, and that's going to be the cut down at the end of the round from DarkZero. As I said, a team that likes to put the diffuser down on the ground. They had the opportunity to do so then, and Skies was straight in. Didn't need asking twice, got it down on the ground, and that's DarkZero taking themselves another round. It's 5-3.
Turns out I am really disappointed. NJR is for his full name, which is Nick James Rapier.
Okay.
I'm really upset by that. I really hoped it'd be something a bit more creative. Not that I'm knocking your name choice, NJR. I'm very aware these are personal things, but I thought there'd be some secrets, hidden away meaning in that.
Unfortunately not.
Damn it.
I quite like it though. I think it works quite well. You couldn't necessarily get away with that any set of initials, but I think NJR just has an.
What's your middle name?
I don't have one.
Oh, me neither.
I don't have one. I wasn't quick enough then. I wasn't quick enough then. I should have said something like legend. But I don't have one.
I would have judged you so hard.
I know.
If you turned around and said that. Yeah, I mean, NJR and TLL doesn't really have the same vibe.
You know what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. NJR does have a nice flow to it. So if those were your initials, I can understand why you'd be like, yeah, I'll use that. Because that is.
If you were TLL, I'd call you a total lagging loser.
I mean, I am that as well. So.
Lagging in the head.
No. Internet's actually.
That's why you hold down F. Your internet's fine in the north end. You've got electrical.
In the north, yeah, we've got electricity and everything, Des.
I understand in the last 2 years you guys have gained internet up there. I know it's a new novelty for you guys, but it does seem like you generally alright we play together.
Getting running water next week.
Oh, really? Yeah. Wow, I'm so happy for you guys.
Straight into the house.
Wait till they give you a TV, mate. That's special.
Here we go then. We are in round 9. DarkZero are going pretty well, I think, on Theme Park here. Team Secret are just, I don't know if it's maybe a little bit of fatigue or what, they just seem to be slipping behind in the last couple of rounds. You know, opportunities maybe just passing them by. DarkZero able to grind them down, and I think if DarkZero get this round, it's going to be a huge ask for Team Secret to come back into it. They've got the ability, we know that, but I think it might just be a stage of the night where it could be a big ask.
A big ask for everyone, I think, as we get towards the later hours of the day. Interesting to see as well a bit of a change coming in where it's Canadian playing on the ace with NJR going over to the Flores. I think Flores is Canadian's most played operator we've seen so far throughout the competition, but here, no, small change around in terms of who is playing what. Of course, that there by Jammer by the looks of it on the other side of this wall. So for now, that Shield and Mute Jammer and ADS shall stay standing just outside of the cafe doors.
Twitch drone going in. Gavani just looking to make sure there's no proximity alarms or anything else behind that door that's going to signal an entry in through cafe. Slebin's going to drop back into office. Reinforcement in pocket, ready to go. Kendrew in position, going to close that up. Team Secret just deciding that enough's enough on the cafe side. The prodding, the poking has moved them away, and in come DarkZero.
And there goes the Shield and the ADS. So Cafe cleared out and DZ can start their march forward. My main concern there, Tim, is it has taken them 2 minutes to get that done. You know, a Twitch drone and a couple of Flores Roteros really should have been enough there. Secret long pull back, reinforced off the rotations that they left open. So a little bit worried for DarkZero here when it comes down to time.
We've maybe hit them with a little bit of a cast the curse. We were talking about how timing hadn't really been an issue. I've just got to pause on that to say beautiful throw there from Gaveni. He's practiced that one before, straight up over the roof and in through the hatch. Absolutely wonderful. We have a kill coming in onto Savage there, and that's going to leave us 5v4. Add one onto Astro from Canadian. 5v3 now as the collapse starts to come in for DarkZero, but 20 seconds left to go. They need to get this moving.
The lineup as well from the four of them here, just forming a straight vertical line down the middle of the map, looking to push forward into Team Secret here. Are sat on the site. They push forward, they march in. The smokes come out. The smoke literally everywhere, both the good kind and the bad kind. In they go, but in the corner is Groovy. Finds one, shut down by NJR, but can't collect a second. Secret pull 2 more back, and it looks like they will hold on. Team Secret take round 9.
Bring it back to 5-4. Only one round in it now, and Team Secret are certainly pumped up and ready for this.
I was boring to play against, man. Play the game. Let's go Bunkers.
I think Kendra needs to remember that they are indeed all wearing soundproof headsets.
I did question fatigue and energy in that last round, and maybe Team Secret were just starting to drop off a little bit, but I don't think that's the case.
I do take his point. I think his stress there is you guys aren't playing the game, you know, you're not moving, it's very slow, like you're not playing it the way we expect. And I commented it took 2 minutes to burn out a shield on the cafe doorway, leaving very little time to actually worry about the execute, which is why they were driving into Groovy with that shotgun waiting at the ready.
That round was definitely DarkZero slipping back to Skyscraper DarkZero.
Yes.
Rather than some of the more recent attacks that we've seen, particularly on Bank, where they moved a lot more quickly and more decisively. Yeah, it was definitely a slip back, and hopefully for DarkZero fans, it's not going to be something that is a consistent theme here on Theme Park. It's going to be round 10 then. Armory and Throne we will go to next. If we have a look at how that's been defended previously, it was defended back in round 7. Team Secret were able to get the win there, so they're going to be looking for a little bit more of that. Kendrew opened things up with the opening kill onto NJR before following on to a 3K as well. It was a great round for Kendrew. So Team Secret, they're going to be looking to lock things down.
5 kills behind Frenjao when it comes to that kill record. So 17 is the magic number to tie it, 18 is to break it, Tim. Push himself over that precipice and put his name, at least for now, into the record books. As said, Cyber is the one who currently holds it, but it will be pretty big for NGR to push through and break that one wide open.
all up to the roof for the time being. DarkZero wanting to get into the top floor via control, maybe cash, work their way across, get that control, and then think about the hard breaching. They've only got Hibana on hand for hard breach, so they need to be careful of Skies. He's going to be the one who has to open this site up. You really do need a successful hard breach on Armory Throne. I really do not like the attacks that fall down to going through those 2 single doors. Astro is going to spray down Skies there, and that is a big risk. In comes Pamba though. Can he find his man? Pre-fires around. Beautiful kill onto Astro to get things going. Is there a second here? Canadian can't even get there in time. It's all falling apart with a Goveni double kill from Team Secret's perspective, and there is the first one. Savage manages to get back onto Skies, and that at least prevents the hard breach.
It's a momentary breathless. What a shot onto Goveni as well. Jesus, Savage waking up this round with 2 big kills that may have just pulled Secret back into it. I know it's still a 2 versus 3, but Tim, I can't help but stress again how many man advantage situations DZ have been in that Secret have managed to swing back their way.
Canadian just going to open up the wall through to the single door there into 90 corridor. Again, it's just going to make it a little bit difficult maybe to rotate in and out of sight. I don't think Team Secret are going to be playing that game at this point anyway. Savage and Kendrew likely to try and hold out for the last minute inside a site. It's the best they can do. They can watch a door each essentially. There's not going to be any hard breaching going on. They won't necessarily know that. They'll know that they've taken down the Hibana more than likely, but they won't have any idea that those walls aren't going to disappear from around them.
So it turns out I was wrong, actually. It was Nesk at SI21 with 49 in a best of 3. Cyber has 50-something odd in a best of 5. So, wrong player, but right sort of intent. Still the right number that we're trying to gun for NGR if he is to break that record. He's got 2 kills. He can possibly find himself here in this round, but Savage feels like he's built a little bit different here in round number 10.
Here comes the final push. Kendrew gets 1, it's NJR. Kendrew gets 2, it's Canadian. And it's all up to Pamba now. 15 seconds left to go. And that feels like a little bit of a throw from DarkZero. And it all comes down to that hard breaching. Pamba does manage to put down Savage, finishes him. And Kendrew is on the run here. And this is the absolute right thing to do. There is no diffuser in hand, no option to extend that clock. And that's going to be Team Secret leveling things up 5-5. And Des, if you remember, I said they cannot lose Skies. You need that hard breach on that site because otherwise you are funneled into 2 single doors. And look what happens. Kendrew stands next to it and gets a double kill on the single door.
It's another man advantage situation that DZ have found themselves losing as well. Yes, with the influence of losing the hard breach, but again, there can be a numbers advantage, but the number of times they've seen rounds slip through their fingers will be really punishing for DZ. This probably could have been a 2-0 for them in this series, but here, we're going to play all rounds of regulation, 12 guaranteed. But Tim, I think we know what's coming.
It certainly looks that way at the minute. There's nothing to separate these two. If we look
we've had 2 8-6s, right?
Yeah, if we look through the history of who's won what, it's been DarkZero have led a lot of the time, to be fair. It was Secret, DarkZero, DarkZero, Secret, DarkZero, DarkZero, so we had the 4-2 half, but then Secret now 3 out of the last 4 rounds, really coming back into things to level everything up. So 5-5, we're in round 11, and it is going to be a bunk and daycare defense for Team Secret.
All right, let's see how DarkZero work their way through this one. Then again, speed and pace has been the thing that has started to build up again as we got into the last 2 or 3 rounds. Same as it was back on Skyscraper at the very start of this best of 3. A couple of questions and comments being made by Team Secret in DarkZero's direction about what the hell they're actually playing at when it comes around to pacing. So we'll see if they can pick it up a little bit here. Canadian once again back on the AK-12 of Ace, a gun that many have fell in love with, I think, Tim. You're seeing even some entry players starting to play Ace, and Odoki did for a time as well. Just feeling it to be one of the stronger guns in the game.
Yeah, the AK is very good. And also, it's not just that you've got a good gun. If you've got a hard breacher that's got a good gun and claymores, so can play on a rappel maybe, keep yourself safe, and you've also got the flexibility. A player like Doki who isn't going to be pushing with the hard breacher, is going to be doing solo things, then has the option to hard breach reinforcements as well. It can be very powerful.
There we go. Marching their way forward then, DZ. Drones doing a bit of the work for them, but this is where they've stalled out before. They've got themselves inside the building pretty quick and then found themselves for 2 minutes doing very little. I point back to a few rounds ago, the 2 minutes spent trying to clear a shield away from Cafe. Secret probably feeling like they can burn through the clock even when there is a Flores on side. And here we are again, about to start playing that exact mini-game. But there is no mute jammer. Or is there? No, there is. It's behind the shield. Ah!
The
smart.
shield
They've moved
will
it behind the
remain
shield,
safe.
but here comes Gaveni, so a nade could very well come flying through.
They have to get that Twitch jammer, the Twitch drone, because as soon as the mute jammer's taken out, the Flores drone will activate.
I think it just
there you go, and it will take the shield down. So a little bit of a problem for them there. Nope, still in position.
Now it's gone.
Exactly that. There you go. There goes your ADS, there goes your shield. At that point, choosing to get a little bit aggressive there. The drone coming in. Sleben needs to just think about overcommitting there. Skies is going to take a lot of damage on the rappel. Needs to be careful. Big play from Sleben. One of those super Sleben moments as he gets to Savage. Manages to find Pamba, and Team Secret could really be doing this, Des.
They're pushing their way through with Stahl here as well. DZ just flagging, it feels, with no real bite to this attack. Been picked to pieces by Secret. Now, with how things are set to go, it'll be a 6-5 to Secret. One more round, we'll see them taking this 2-1 and walking away with 3 points, leaving DZ with just 1. What a shot coming out of Skies, though. Oh, and a second! Chaining together some naughty little one-taps, but it's going to bleed out to the smoke.
Let's go! Let's fucking go!
After those 2 shots as well, that's so unfortunate.
It is. He had to try and recover that diffuser. He was doing everything he could. Sometimes you can just flirt with the edge of those toxic gas clouds and get away with it, but not the case there for Skies, unfortunately.
Absolutely not.
Well, Team Secret take the lead for the first time here on Theme Park, and what a time to do it. They get one bite at the cherry to close this one out and get the win here and now. They need to lock it down. DarkZero are going to be throwing everything at this to try and get it done, but you just feel like Team Secret have got the momentum. I said at a point, a bit of a cast of curse, I said Team Secret just felt like they were flagging a little bit. They'd lost 4-2 in the first half. They were struggling. They were 5-3 down at the point where I said it, and since then they haven't lost a round, and if anything it looks like it's the sails of DarkZero that have lost the wind.
They really have, especially here on the attacking side. I know a few rounds ago I was really excited about NJR, but I think he's got one kill across the last 4 rounds. You know, we speak about these hero players, the ones that are shining and carrying a team through. Really, for me, the hero of the last few rounds has been Pamba. Tearing through on a couple of entries, picking up a 2K here and there as well, helping keep DarkZero in it, but we've really got to see something special coming out here in round 12 if we are to guarantee overtime. But Tim, the thing I'm most worried about in overtime is it's Secret starting on defense. It just goes from bad to worse for DarkZero because that advantage carries through for Secret, and I could see them winning this.
Honestly, I could as well. I could see either of these two teams winning it. It's been so close throughout. You know, surely we're not going to have a third map go to overtime. We've had the first 2 go there, and it's been such an even matchup. It's been fantastic entertainment for us and for everybody at home. You can't really ask for a better game of Siege, really. You know, no clear winner either way. No idea what's going to happen round to round. Somebody just playing Savage is going to be underneath the 90 default camera. Pretty standard spot now. So whilst getting spotted out on the drones, you would expect DarkZero to be guessing that he would be in that position.
I like this as well.
Amber's done this before with success.
Yeah, the shower window's a real good one to come flying in from, especially if they aren't expecting it. But he's got to be careful about the man just outside the vault to his right-hand side. But here we go, straight up he goes, gun up to the right-hand side, and it's going to find itself 1 for 3. Canadian joins in the party. There's 4 kills that fly through for DZ. Groovy, the last one left standing. 2 smoke canisters in back pocket, but 5 enemies stand between him, his team, and a win. Plant is going down, drops the donk onto Skies, but 4 still stand. Plant is going to get stuck. It looks like overtime is all but guaranteed, Tim.
Certainly does. Full white flash comes in on to Groovy, making his life even more difficult. He's going to switch over to the shotgun, took a bit of damage there, moves around the corner, manages to find a headshot onto NJR. We are now in about a 25-second situation for Groovy here. He needs to find 3 kills if he's got any hope of disabling this diffuser, and utility is just being thrown at him from every single angle. We can hear the candelas. He's going to find another, and that brings it back to 1v2, but he's now on 1 HP, a breath away from death, and about 5 seconds left to go. There's no chance that he does this, and Des, we're going to overtime.
Big 4K for Canadian as well off the back of that round. Woohoo! What time are we at now, Tim? It's 11:15.
We'll be done by 11. That's not.
Oh, that's. I'm not worried about the time too much. I'm more just thinking about the players. This has been a long series.
It has been a long series for them. We're at about.
Well, when did we start?
3.5 hours.
Quarter past 7 we started. Yeah, 3.5 hours.
We were a little bit late, but yeah,
what many don't know is I think the first ever series you and I did together at a LAN, Epic LAN in the UK, was 45 rounds long.
45 rounds.
It was,
and it's never changed.
No, we've not matched that yet. We've come close.
We hold the record for longest competitive siege match.
That was the best.
Tier 1 at least. I can't swear there's not another league anywhere in the world that hasn't had a long one. But in the Berlin major final, I think, what did we...
69 of 75 rounds.
69 of 75.
This is looking to be, at the very least, 41 of 45.
Yeah, it certainly is.
And Tim, if you are following Fresh's bingo card, then you can now tick
Done.
map OT.
Ticked off. That's
Congratulations. Wait.
It took until day 3.
Oh, yeah, bingo, yeah. In the group chat, X is coming saying bingo. And Jack has got the picture in there. He's only got a few left, so he's got to have
got a line.
Crowd do a shoey, kill record broken. We weren't too far off, but I think we're going to miss it. Alamar and Super have some beef. Boss Goat clutch. A Siege Valentine's poem. We can sort that out. Interrogation.
That's in our wheelhouse.
And Milos speaks 4 languages.
A bomb has been located.
I think we'll see that done by the end of things.
I think we'll have this full bingo card, you know. I want to know what happens to the first person that completes the card, though. What do they get?
There isn't a first person, is there? Everybody completes it at the same time.
Yeah, but like the first person to cross it all off and then post it on Twitter or something.
No.
Do they get a prize?
What he really needed to do was make a few different cards so you could choose which one you had.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's difficult to come up with all the ideas, so I'll let him off. Here we go then. We're in round 13. It's 6-6, and there is absolutely nothing. You couldn't separate these two with a sheet of paper, Des. There is nothing to come in between the two of them. NJR just going to open up the windows there, just keeping a track on where NJR is up to. Still sitting at 44 kills at the moment. Current record is 49 for Nesk across 3 maps. So if he wants to hold it cleanly, he's going to need another 6 in these last 3 rounds. Potential 3 rounds.
He needs a defensive round if he's going to get anywhere near that, I think. Again, on the attacking side, the last 5 rounds, I think he's now got 1 kill.
Yep.
Like, it's just not been a good
really
half
slowed
at
down.
all.
Really
yeah.
slowed down.
So he's a defensive player. That's what it's all about.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Not at all.
I like defense.
Either way.
You prefer attack or defense?
Sorry?
You prefer attack, don't you? Because you like holding down F.
I do. I like punting. I quite like defence as well. I like the setting up the plan for them to play into, setting up the puzzle for them to try and unpick.
Solve. You like a jigsaw puzzle, Tim?
Yeah, I do.
Well, this puzzle's proving a little bit hard for DZ to unravel right now. Can't quite see the complete picture because, once again, they've been stalled out trying to get these Roteros to go in through Cafe and get rid of the shield, the jammer, the ADS that are set up on the Cafe door. And Secret are just like, why fix what ain't broken? Because the same thing they've tried time and time again has been successful. With 1 minute now left on the clock and still in a 5 versus 5, it feels like Team Secret might be moving on to a 7-6 quite soon.
It certainly does. As we say, time has been the big factor for DarkZero, and they're not really near. I was going to say, if they have an explosive moment around a minute or 45 seconds remaining, they sometimes do it, but it doesn't feel like they're close to that sort of position. Pamba indeed taking down Savage, Frost off the board, but not really close at this point, DarkZero, to getting in and being in a position to start thinking about putting that diffuser down. They are going to breach the site wall. That's a big kill. Gavini taking down Sleben, and now here we go. DarkZero, 30 seconds left to go. I think they've got the breach done now. They can think about getting into plant, and Des, it might not be going Team Secret's way.
Absolutely not. 12-4 an entry in the series of Pamba, an absolute demon at this point, and Astro has got to hold it down, but it feels like now the defense has crumbled. There's going to be panic stations going into round 14. Finds one more, but Pamba's there for the trade. DZ have done what felt like the impossible with very little time left in a 5v5. They destroy Team Secret. Now the side swap, and this really is where DarkZero have got to show their mettle.
Looks like we're going to be going in, and like you said, DarkZero are going to be fairly comfortable. They were 4-2 on the defense in the first half. The only sites that they lost was Lab and Storage. They lost once, but they won it once. Initiation, they lost once and only played it once. So going down to Armory and Throne, 100% win record from their first half. Played twice, won twice. This is not going to be easy for Team Secret now, and it's... As you say, it's late. It's at the end of a nearly 3.5-hour series. This is time where they've got to really dig into those reserves to get this done and get themselves to that 15th round.
Really got to dig deep, absolutely. You know, obviously the point where no more timeouts can come through here for a chat about the best way of getting there. It is just purely going to come down to figuring it out on your own 2 feet. Kendrew, no doubt, with some ideas of his own to bring into the round, but is it going to be enough?
We've got the Thorn on side. Always an operator that fascinates me with the Razor Blooms. They're not really sort of great for things like entry denial. The fuse on them is a little bit too long, so if you get an Ash running through a door, for example, it's not going to have the sort of impact that you might want. By the time it detonates, she's going to be long gone. So generally used more for intel. You put them in areas that it's going to be a signifier that somebody has come in through there when you're alerted to the detonation or the sound cue of it. But also things like area and plant denial. You know, you can put them in places where, as a planter is going to try and stand still, and then that diffuse is, that fuse timer is not so much of a problem.
Here we go then. Big focus coming in onto the yellow wall here. EMP's coming through. Salma's coming out. That wall is guaranteed to be opened up nice and wide for the boys to get to work, even with NGR in place. But Canadian managed to deny away a couple of those Salmas by the looks of it. Stops some of the job from the wall being opened up. I think it's still going to complete, though, and that will give them an angle into the site.
Yeah, I think there was 2 single holes. Yeah, yes. 2 single holes that opened up. Not easy to shoot off on the Selma charges. A quick 2 kills, a quick 3 as Groovy finds Canadian with a headshot. A lot of headshots raining in today. The mechanical skill of these 2 teams has been a real display to watch. Now, NJR trying to just watch a triple layer angle there all the way up to the top floor hatch, but in a 2 versus 4, it might just need a little bit of activity from DarkZero here to start finding a few kills. Astro is able to shut down Pamba though, and it's all up to NJR. I mean, what a way to find yourself closer to the kill record, Des, than a 1v4.
I mean, it's a great way to pad out some stats here if you want to get 3 and then give the round away. Sees one man flicks onto him, but can't quite find the kills. No doubt there'll be a drop behind him. One coming in on one side, has found one, but can't get any others. Astro gets that close-up tip. We're going all the way to 15.
Certainly are. That much is clear. As DarkZero unable to get it over the line. And it's interesting, really. It's quite funny how often we see this, where a map has been defender-sided so far throughout, and then as soon as you get into overtime, it just completely flips on its head. So you think, oh, that team's got the defense, they've got the advantage, and it just doesn't happen like that. We've had 2 successful attacks. We only had 4 successful attacks through the entirety of regulation time.
Whew. Okay, it comes down to this. The very last round, secret on defense. DarkZero have got to pull it out again. They did great on their last attack. Both teams have now shown clearly that attack can be done, but defense, it feels, has been the stronger throughout the entire map. So who's going to claim it in round 15? Winner gets 3 points, loser gets just 1. And those 2 points can be all the difference when it comes round to making it through to next week's 6 invitational games or finding yourself going home.
43 out of 45 rounds we've seen. Surely this must be our longest game at 6 Invitational 2023 as of yet. I'm sure there will be games somewhere down the line that may well try to push past it, but it has been fantastic entertainment and great value either way. And this is it. This will be our final round. We're going to decide one of these 2. 3.5 hours, Des, and it all comes down to just 1 round.
I feel like I could do another map.
I could.
Do I want to?
I'm going to choose not to, if that's okay.
I want to go to bed.
I'd quite like my bed.
My voice is at that stage where it's like, right, you've been shouting 3.5 hours now. Shut up. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. Soon.
I'm quite often at that stage with you, Des, to be honest.
Start open my mouth. Welcome to Shut Up, Des.
Shut up.
All it takes. Right. Let's see how it works out. Who's going to be the hero for either side here? Who's going to make a difference and make it count for those extra 2 points that a team sorely needs? Groovy almost going down to a nade coming out of Pamba. Playing on the Iana here as well. Has been prolific on the entry as mentioned earlier on. 12 and 4 across the series. May have even improved after last round. And he's the kind of guy that you do want leading the charge with the Iana.
Cavani just going to be sending the drones in, trying to feed the information. Savage is on the rear stairs. He's got the storm in hand, and he's just looking to hold them out of the east side for the time being, taking a load of drone out as he goes. Now, 7 drones still on the table, so DarkZero certainly shouldn't be so short of information here. They should know exactly what's going on ahead of them, and that's going to be a good start for NJR. He picks up Savage, and that puts him on 46 kills overall. overall in this best of 3.
I doubt he gets an ace to break it here. I know he's had one already in the
He only
series, but
needs
it
4.
was.
He only needs 4. Well, 4 to match, 5 to.
That's the
break.
thing. He's literally got to get an ace to break it, which I'm not convinced is going to happen, but we'll see if he can. Through we step then, and Groovy's the one now coming off on the flank, working his way out towards Dragon. He's had a ping come through onto one of the drones that will be watching his location as well. So knows that DarkZero have got this area somewhat pinned down with information. No doubt with assistance from Kendra on that Solus earlier on, helping him ping and identify exactly where those were. And he's just waiting for this slither of an angle onto the window to open up wide for him.
Famba's going to send in the Gemini decoy.
That always gets me. Medics always does it. Changes over the last second as the animation is about to complete on the Iana, and I'm like, hang on.
Yeah, he's got some really smooth ones in the past where it just looks like a really cool transition when he
likes to try and throw me off.
Yeah, when he hits it just right. Canadian's going to send in the EMP grenade. That's going to allow that rear wall at the bottom of yellow stairs to be opened up. It doesn't look like it's happening.
Jammed. Oh, ban. Eh? Oh, there we go. They're going. They're going. It's all good. We're okay.
I'm a little worried about the timing.
Oh, no.
I mean, I hate to say I told you so, but I don't. That's a huge mistake.
They're going to lose on the back of that.
That's a huge mistake from DarkZero. They've got 10 seconds left to go, Des. They're just going to have to run in. Astro's going to find a kill onto Pambazoo. Gaveni manages to get one, but Groovy's there for the trades. Guys, it's going backwards and forwards like the entire game. There
No way!
And somehow